The very first book I published in English was Shadow of the Wind a few years ago, and after that I published another novel, The Angel's Game. But what I think a lot of readers in English don't know is that before these two books I had written 4 other novels that were not published into English. The Prince of Mist is the first novel in a sequence of young adult novels that I wrote in the 1990s. The first 3 of them, which is The Prince of Mist, The Palace of Midnight, and The Lights of September, are big fantastic stories, I would say, kind of gothic mystery adventures that have young characters in them. And to me, they always belonged into some kind of sequence. So although they're completely independent stories and they use different characters, to me they share a spirit. The first one, The Prince of Mist, is going to come right now in May of 2010. The Prince of Mist is a mystery story, it's a coming-of-age story. It's a story set in the years of World War II in a coast town. It's a story of Max and his family. Max is this 12-year-old kid who has to move out of the big city because of the war. His family moves to this old house that used to belong to a doctor who had a tragic life. And son Max is going to find that there's something in this house and there's something in this town that is far worse than the horrors they're trying to escape from war. One of the interesting things for me about coming-of-age stories, I think teenagers get to a point where they can no longer accept the answers that adults are providing them about the world, about why things are the way they are. At some point when you're a teenager, you have to figure it out for yourself. The choices they're taking, the things, the way they treat other people, how they react to things, how they understand things, is going to affect the people they're going to become. And this is one of the themes of the Prince of Mist. Beneath all the mystery and the adventure and the thrilling elements, there's a moral story in here about how we become the people we are by our own hands. I write always at my office, either here in California or in Barcelona, in Spain. It's always in my office, in my own secluded cave, where I'm completely cut off from the world. A writer can live anywhere. You could be in Calcutta or in the moon. As long as you have a computer or a piece of paper, you're able to do your work. What I did is go back into my old memories and use a lot of that perception you have when you're a child, when you're a very young kid, and how you look at the world in wonder. There's something when we are very young in which we see the world through the eyes of magic. Everything seems possible. I try to tell stories through character. So I think it's interesting to counterpose different visions and something comes out of the sum of all that. Not just because you're telling the reader this is how it is, it's because different characters are telling different things. And then all those things mix together and something happens in which the reader realizes what the total picture is.